Hello, Example here. You're watching the Guestlist Network.
Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Let's shake.
Let's shake.
I'm good, I've got my
You've
tea.
been for a swim, you've been to the gym. So you've been healthy right now?
I'm sort of in and out of health and partying constantly.
Okay, you're gigging a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I just finished a tour. I was on tour for like 6 weeks, non-stop, on a bus. And then I came off tour and I thought, oh, I've got some time off now. And no, I've got to finish my album. And then in between all that, I've got I do these club shows, just me and a DJ.
Okay.
You know, rather than me and 15 people
Massive.
or whatever. Yeah, massive people. So, still very busy.
So when's the album out? And tell us about that.
My third album, Playing in the Shadows, is out in about September. Might be slightly earlier, slightly later. You never know in this game. Things are constantly changing in the music industry.
Yeah.
But I have got a single out in June called Change the Way You Kiss Me.
'Cause you changed the way you kiss me.
And then another single out end of August.
How's the album going? Who have you worked with?
Right. I've done about 9 or 10 tracks. I need to do 2 or 3 more. I've worked with Scream, who pretty much started dubstep. Nero, who's sort of probably the highest beat in dubstep at the moment. Faithless, they're probably one of the most legendary dance acts of all time.
And you went on tour with them, didn't you?
I went on tour with them.
Is that how you got them on the album?
I think it helped. Or maybe I'd done the songs before we went on tour. Either way, it's a good story.
Yeah.
My new single was produced by Michael Woods, who's like this new up-and-coming guy, I suppose, in tech house, trance.
Okay.
He's produced a new single. And then people like Dirty South, Brooks Brothers, Chasing Status. It's just like...
It's quite a wide spectrum.
Yeah, it's basically all the
Music.
biggest people within their scenes, you know, the biggest people from drum and bass, biggest people from dubstep, biggest people from trance and house. And, you know, I do want this album to work around the world, which is something like my last album lacked. It didn't really connect that well around the world.
English rappers haven't really had huge success in the States.
Which is why I'm singing now.
Right, okay. Okay.
No, I mean, like, I started branching out into... On my first album, I sang once. I sang 1 chorus on my first album. And it was all samples and featured vocalists. My second album made more transition from hip-hop to dance. And there was a few featured vocalists, but I started singing a lot more, like Kickstarts was all my vocals. And then because that single did well, I've become more confident singing, because I only started singing a couple of years ago.
Oh, right, so you're not trained in it or anything?
No, I'm not. I've never had a singing lesson. I'm basically, I suppose, the way I say it is I sort of talk in tune.
And are you going to tour with the album internationally as well?
Hopefully, I mean, it's always difficult because what people don't understand is like, in the UK, I'm quite big now. You know, I'm playing like 20 festivals and it's taken a long time to get there, constant grafting over like 6-7 years. And in December, I'll be playing some massive venues, which I'm really excited about. But when you talk about the rest of the world, like to go and tour America can cost you, you know, hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And no one's paying for that for me. That's coming out of my own pocket. So obviously
It's
you
fun
have.
though. You've got
It's
to think of
fun.
it
You
as
have
an
to.
investment as well.
You have to invest, obviously, like you say, to get bigger.
So when you started, did you think, right, I'm going to be the biggest thing there is? Because a lot of artists.
I didn't really know what I was
it's just
doing.
fun. Yeah.
I didn't really know, honestly, I've just been learning constantly for 7 years. I didn't know, when I released my first single in 2004 on vinyl, sold about 80 copies and the music wasn't that good and I didn't really know about radio or TV or press.
What made you do it? How come you thought, I'm just going to release it?
Someone told me I was good
Oh, cool. And you believed them?
and I believed them, but I never thought that I'd have a career in music. And then when I got my first radio play on Radio 1, you know, national radio, and then I got signed to Mike Skinner's label, The Streets, in 2005 or 6, that gives you a bit of confidence. You think, oh, maybe I've got something.
Yeah.
But it's taken me like 6-7 years to work out what my niche is, if you like. Like, basically, the long-haired, singing, rapping dude from Fulham who just talks about relationships and partying, basically. But I've gone through all these different transitions and images and sounds and producers in order to find that.
Did you feel like you were getting pushed in or pulled in any particular way?
No, it's just taken me a while to learn, you know. Some people, you know, like take up acting at 30 and become global stars, and I kind of feel like I've been doing music since like my early 20s, but only now do I feel image, sound, lyrics is the real me.
So you can start to maybe really settle this year.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, my first album was all rapping, and it was a very disjointed album, but it had like a bit of a cult following, and I'm proud of it. But there's a lot of people who relate to my first album, and then now when they hear me singing or making dance music, they're like, oh, you sold out, just go back to your roots, go back to rapping. But quite honestly, I feel more comfortable making dance music, and I feel more comfortable singing than I ever did rapping over hip hop, and it's, you know, with that has become more attention and more success, and I'm kind of feeding off that. And when you get on stage and see 60,000 people singing your song back to you, like I've had with Kickstarts last summer, you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
And some people are like, go back to your first album, you know, re-release your first album,
You
it'll do
can't.
well. It wouldn't do well. It wouldn't do well.
And you can't go back really anyway.
Yeah, you have to keep going forwards. Like, that was that moment in time. I didn't so many. My first album did something like 10,000 copies or whatever, which is not a lot, but that was me then. I learned from it. It was good fun. I'm proud of it. But that was the start of the journey.
If you do go out, what's your preference?
I actually prefer. I mean, like, to be honest, when I do go out, I prefer to stay in a restaurant and then stay drinking in the restaurant. But if I go out to a club,
Yes.
then, which isn't that often anymore, because essentially my life is spent in clubs and live venues, then I'd probably go somewhere like Fabric for, you know, dubstep, drum and bass night or something. Go and watch, you know, Sub Focus or Scream and Banger or David Rodigan, or, you know, that's the scenes that keep me excited.
Okay. Do you keep up to date with music?
Like, to be honest, I don't, even though I make dance music and I rap and I sing, I don't really listen to much rap or much dance music.
Right.
I kind of listen to more bands, because lyrically I try to be more influenced by, say, grunge music. You know, that sort of melancholic, heartfelt, quite moody, sinister vibe. That's sort of what my third album's all about.
Why is that? Because you went more internal?
Yeah, just been asking myself a lot of questions over the last 6 months. And I'm talking about, this album's not just about me, it's about me observing the scene. And also, like, the generation of the UK at the moment, which seems quite messed up.
Yeah.
You know, kids taking drugs at, you know, 14, 13, you know, which in my generation, people weren't really doing that so much, and now it seems quite a normal place for that. And these are all the things I'm discussing on my album, and I'm thinking there's no better genre to be influenced by that sort of stuff than the grunge genre, because of, like, you know.
You've got to be careful though that you don't become preachy.
It's not a preachy album, it's not a politics.
I'm not saying it is.
It's more sort of me just asking questions. It's not me telling people what to do. It's me just asking a question. And to be honest, this album doesn't really answer any of the questions.
Yeah.
It leaves everything open for discussion.
What festivals are you going to do? Which ones are you most looking forward to?
Wireless, main stage. Lovebox. London one's always good, big crowds. And then V is going to be good. Queenfields, Rocknest, because Scottish people are just crazy in general, in a good way.
I've never been.
And then, like, the sort of, like, the you know, the sort of skatery, studenty festivals like Beach Break and Wakestock.
And what about pre and post show antics?
I usually warm up by then, like, if I really need to get high, if I want to go on stage and explode with energy, I'll warm up like skipping, press ups. If my voice is a bit dodgy, I just have a shot of, like, some old Scotch whiskey.
I've heard a few things about Scream, particularly in Miami.
Dubstep DJs are the punk rock stars of today.
Yeah.
There's no one as good as them at what they do in terms of the partying or the music or the skills. That's a fact.
Okay, I believe you. So what about fans? Do you have any crazy fans?
Do I have any crazy fans? Yeah, loads.
What have they done?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're crazy. They're just like, I suppose they just love you, which is a nice thing. Like, I haven't got any nutters. Like a nutter would be someone who, I don't know, sent me like foot scrapings, for instance.
Yes.
But I haven't had any foot scrapings. Or fingernails. I've had no fingernails. I've had no hair.
So no.
I've had nice things. I've had
bodily
like homemade pillows, cushions, homemade t-shirts, birthday cakes, Easter eggs.
Already?
Watches, hats, although I don't wear hats. Don't buy me hats. Don't buy me hats.
Why not?
Because I don't look good at hats. I've got a funny face.
Who do you want to work with next?
I'd love to do something with dream collaborations, just to learn and just say you've done it. Like Kanye, Daft Punk, Deadmau5, Damon Albarn, Quincy Jones.
So you're already thinking about your next album and you're not even finished?
I already know the
over?
concept of the fourth album.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I've done the personal album, and my second album was a bit disjointed, and my first album was a bit disjointed. It was like hip hop, electro pop. Now it's like more ravey, trancey. Fourth album is going to be a lot rockier, but let's focus on the third album.
Okay,
now, Playing in the Shadows. Let's just leave.
Well, good luck finishing it.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing the video to your new single. And yeah, have fun on tour and
Doing that thing you do.